Well, hello there, and good evening, YouTube. Hey, I made it 2 nights in a row. Holy moly, miracles do happen. A little tease on the side there. I'm William Brantley from the Bemis, South Jackson, Tennessee area on 3rd Street, ready to share with you yesterday's and today's climate summary and give you a forecast for the next few days momentarily. And boy, have we had a lot of rain since yesterday. Whew. And we've got some more coming too. It's not over with yet. Go ahead and give you yesterday's climate data first. Yesterday's low temperature here in Bemis, Tennessee was 44 degrees. Yesterday's high was 72 degrees. And remember that occurred at 12:01 a.m. Wednesday morning. Yesterday's rainfall amount, my goodness, I wound it up with 2.71 inches here in Bemis on 3rd Street. Yeah, you heard that right. 2.71 inches of rainfall total. And that takes me up to 8.59 inches for the month and 14.18 inches for the year. And that's through yesterday's amount. That does not include today's amount, which I will show you shortly. We are nearing the wettest February on record for Bemis, and I'll show you that momentarily as well. See, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, the highest wind gust yesterday was 31 miles per hour out of the west, and it occurred sometime between 12:01 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. last night. No Pacific time, I'm afraid. Not for yesterday. It didn't come through. Alright, let me see. What else? Yesterday's hottest high in West Tennessee was 73 degrees. At the Jackson, Tennessee airport, it occurred at about the same time that the high here in Bemis occurred, a little after midnight on Wednesday morning. Now, yesterday's coldest low was 41 degrees in West Tennessee, and that occurred at Union City, Tennessee. Alright, go with today's climate data. As of 5 p.m., the skies were cloudy here in Bemis, and I've just looked outside, and it's now foggy in Bemis. The fog is getting intense here on 3rd Street in Bemis, so be cautious as you're out and about doing whatever you need to do. It wouldn't surprise me if a dense fog advisory might be issued sometime this evening by the National Weather Service, but right now, to my knowledge, there isn't one. But temperature was 54 degrees at 5 p.m. I just looked at it a few moments ago at 7:17 p.m. and it was down to 53 degrees. Now the temperature is actually expected to warm up overnight, and more rain's headed our way, of course. Now the dew point was 54 degrees at 5 p.m. Humidity was at 100% at that time. The wind was calm, and the barometric pressure was 30.29 inches of mercury. Today's low temperature was 45 degrees. Unfortunately, it didn't warm up into the 60s today yet. That may actually occur toward midnight, believe it or not. But so far the high has been 54 degrees. There's a chance we may be in the lower 60s toward midnight, but not yet. Rainfall today total 1.20 inches here on 3rd Street in Bemis, and I'll show you the tally on that one momentarily for the month. Today's lowest humidity would be 96% at 2 p.m. Today's highest would be 100%, and that occurred several different hours from 12 a.m. through 8 a.m., then again at 10 a.m., and then again at 12 p.m., 3 p.m. and 5 p.m., several different hours. Lowest barometric pressure today was 30.21 inches of mercury. That occurred at 5 a.m., while the highest would be 30.39 inches of mercury, and that occurred at 11 a.m. Today's highest wind gust out of the northwest at 28 miles per hour. Undetermined time that when that happened. It occurred sometime between 12:01 a.m. last night and 5 p.m. today. Again, it was 28 miles per hour out of the northwest. Today's records for February 22nd. Hottest high would be 74 degrees in the year 2000. Coldest high would be 33 in 1963. Warmest low would be 59 in 1985. And the coldest low would be 5 degrees. And that happened in 1978. And we're nearing the rainfall record for today's date. Whether I'm not sure we'll make it though. 1.80 inches, and that fell in 1994. We're at 1.20 so far. Snowfall record, we had a little bit in 2015. Melted 0.02 inches of melted snow in 2015. Alrighty. I think that's it for the basic climate summary. Let me move on and show you that stat I wanted to show you about the rainfall. I tell you what, let me show you. Yeah, I'll go ahead and show it to you. Then I'll show you the radar. Okay, well that's the wrong one, but I got the general idea though. Let me see, I can turn it around, and this is a note I made on Facebook, my group page. Actually, I've had 1.20 inches of rain as of 5 p.m. That puts my storm total here in Bemis to 3.91 inches of rainfall. 3.91 inches of rainfall since yesterday. 2.71 inches yesterday and 1.20 inches today. Now the wettest February on record is 10.82 inches, and that happened in 2013. Now we're up to 9.79 inches. I'm showing 77. Now I'm adding the 200s to that 1.18. I'm up to 9.79 inches of rainfall as of right now here on 3rd Street in Bemis. So I'm less than an inch from tying or breaking the wettest February on record for Bemis. We don't have far to go to do that. And with more rain expected tonight and tomorrow, and actually on into Saturday, it wouldn't surprise me if we slam that record big time here in Bemis. But we do have to have some more to do that though. We're just shy of it now. But based upon predictions that I'm seeing, there's still projections of 3 to 5 more inches in addition to what we've already had is projected for the Jackson area. So if that projection holds true, then we'll have the wettest February on record possibly before midnight, almost a sure bet before midnight tomorrow night. Alright, that'll give you an idea of what to expect in that regard. Most of the thunderstorms tonight are expected roughly between 9 and 10 p.m. It'll move through Jackson again and probably be gone before sunrise and then come back again tomorrow afternoon. Alright. Now let me show you one of the radars why I'm a little shaky about tonight at 9 o'clock. There's nothing headed our way right now. There's a little shower to our north, as you can see right here. This is radar based upon 7:03 p.m. I should have brought channel 3s up. I don't know why I didn't think to do that. That would be right up to the minute. I apologize for that. I forgot to even bring that one up. Well, this one's not is only 20 minutes old, but it's still not too bad. It shows you where most of the precipitation is now. It's right now over in northeastern Arkansas, heading into southeastern Missouri toward Poplar Bluff, Missouri. There's nothing heavy at this time headed toward Jackson, but more storms are projected around the 9 or 10 o'clock hour here in Jackson. Right now, I do not see that happening. It's going to be closer to midnight or after before we have any more storms, the way it's looking right now at least, unless they pop up just in the next few minutes, which that's possible. The fog I know is getting real thick. That's been kind of building over the last hour or so to get thick around here, so it's really gotten thick in that regard. That's the only thing that's really affecting us rough right now is the fog getting thick, and it's going to continue until that warm front moves through and starts warming our temperatures up. Alright, let's look at the satellite. I missed it. That site that was going that I didn't get last night, it's back in operation. Well, I thought it was. Well, it usually moves. It's not moving for some reason. Did I hit the wrong arrow? There we go. Maybe, yeah, I hit the wrong arrow, I guess. There you see, really, we're not that terribly far from having fair skies to our south. Look at how clear that clears up just south of Jackson. You know Jackson's almost in the center of West Tennessee, maybe just south of dead center. But it looks like it's trying to clear south of us. That's probably why the fog is developing, especially down toward Bolivar on up toward Jackson. That's probably why. But we have more clouds, as you see, forming down there in southern Arkansas, moving east. That's probably going to be our storms for later on tonight. I look at AccuWeather's radar. Gives you a slight better view of where it's at. I tell you what, it's on over in Arkansas. Not much in West Tennessee at the moment. That's going to be changing overnight. Let me see. Am I going to have to hit anything? No, that's pretty much where it's at, and it's moving into Missouri. There's even an area of snow and sleet way up in northern Missouri and up in Iowa, up in that area. Let me zoom out to the nation real quick like. Alright, that shows you where it's at nationally. Hey, there's a big snowstorm going on up there in parts of Minnesota and Wisconsin. Yeah, that's some pretty heavy snow up in there. A good mixture going on in Iowa. Sleet and freezing rain, rain and snow, all going on up there in Iowa. And of course the heavier rain and storms in Missouri and Arkansas. Alright, let me go back to the Weather Service's map and give you their version of the southeastern U.S. That's a closer up view of how widespread the rain is in Arkansas and how we're on the extreme eastern tip of it, moving northeast. Alright, you get a pretty good view there. Alright, United, what's this? Oh, that's back to AccuWeather. Okay. Alright, let's go to Weather Underground then. My goodness. That's way up in Canada, it looks like. Greenland? How in the world did it get that far off? Good gracious. Boy, when it moves, don't it? Let me get a close-up view of the sea here. There we go. Ah, that's right. The front stationary southeast of Jackson with the low over western middle Tennessee. As you can see from this map, that's why it's still foggy. That front's coming back through as a warm front sometime this evening, but until that happens, we're going to get lucky and not have much rain until that happens. So the longer it takes that stationary front to move back through Jackson as a warm front, we're going to continue staying on the cool side. That may actually hold some of that heavy rain off for 2 or 3 hours, maybe. It might even be midnight before it catches up, or even toward 3 a.m. possibly. So that might be our luck for tonight. I'm not having very many more storms. That stationary front might keep it just far enough away. Alright, but it's not hadn't moved through yet. But once it does, it's going to start warming up dramatically. And there you see Weather Underground's radar map of where the showers and storms are. Alright, let me get one more close-up view. There you see, it's a little to the east of us over there. Over there toward, Linden, Tennessee. Over in Perry County. There's a few light showers to our north. Up there around Humboldt, maybe McKenzie, Milan, possibly Bradford, up in those areas. A little shower going on up there. Maybe over toward Brownsville, Tennessee, maybe. Even though that's not actually showing up on radar, but if you've seen enough maps, you have an idea of where those towns are, whether they're listed or not. Alright, well, that's a fairly close-up view as of right now. And I'll have to go with that one since I didn't bring up channel 3's. I'm going to go with one more close-up view, then I'll move on. Now, there you see Brownsville. That's a closer-up view there. Yeah, it looks like raining up around the Bradford, Tennessee area now, over toward near McKenzie, and a little to the west of Huntington. It looks like it's raining a little bit over there on the west side of Dyersburg, and then gets real heavy on up here around the Pocahontas part of Paragould, part of Arkansas, and on up into parts of Missouri there. Let me see. It's raining pretty good in Poplar Bluff, Missouri. That's supposed to be here in Jackson here with before midnight, but it's moving northeast, not southeast. So we might get lucky and get a little bit of a decent evening, rain-wise. But it is expected to be back in the area, though, at least after midnight, or once that stationary front right here moves back through as a warm front. Alright, speaking of that, let me move on to the forecast. I guess I'll go ahead and let you see it too, like I did last night. I'm going to get it to where I can roll it around so you can see it as well. I get my papers out of the way so maybe you can see it too. I got Friday on there. Let me back it up a little bit. Again, it's probably going to be mostly cloudy again tonight, of course, like it's been. Maybe that's good enough. Chances for thunderstorms around here should begin around 9 or 10 o'clock, if not later. it's possible it may wait till midnight, as you saw on the radar. Today's high, of course, like I mentioned, was 54 degrees so far. It should probably be warmer than that by midnight. We'll have to wait and see what it turns out to be at that time. The rain should continue into tomorrow. Mostly cloudy skies continue with a 70% chance of more rain and scattered thunderstorms. They're most likely between midnight and sunrise, and then again tomorrow afternoon and evening. But they'll be on scattered basis. They won't be all the time. The low temperature tomorrow morning around 54, which is what it is right now. The current temperature of 54, I believe that's what it was when I looked at it a while ago, 53 weather. May turn out to be the low for tomorrow morning, depending on how warm it warms up between now and midnight. Now, tomorrow's high, it was supposed to hit the 60s today. It still may by midnight. But tomorrow it should get on up to almost 70 tomorrow, about 69 degrees. We should have southwest winds tomorrow at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Now the first quarter moon is complete tomorrow as well. Speaking of that, the moon is up now, but we just can't see it. It sets at 12:04 a.m. tonight, shortly after midnight. And it'll be rising tomorrow at 11 weather, 11:27 a.m. and set at 12:40 a.m. Saturday morning. The sun will be rising tomorrow at 6:33 a.m. and set at 5:45 p.m. tomorrow evening. Now on Saturday we have mostly cloudy skies continue with another 80% chance of more showers and thunderstorms, especially during the afternoon and evening hours. There's even some hints to the possibility of some severe weather in our area Saturday afternoon and night. And according to the Weather Channel, Steve Forbes, I think his name is, has a Torcon of 4 for all of West Tennessee for Saturday afternoon and night. That means there's a 40% chance of tornadoes somewhere in the West Tennessee area Saturday afternoon and evening. Now that's a projection mainly based upon the Weather Channel, not the National Weather Service, even though they have put out a slight risk for severe thunderstorms projected for Saturday afternoon and evening for our area. So we'll have to keep a close eye out on that. The low Saturday morning should be near 61. It should warm on up to 74 degrees on Saturday. We have south winds at 15 to 30 miles per hour, so it is going to be a little windy. The sun rises Saturday morning at 6:31 and sets at 5:46 p.m. The moon will be rising at 12:17 p.m. and set at 1:45 a.m. Sunday morning. Speaking of Sunday, finally the skies are going to clear up and be mostly clear with a low of 49 degrees and a high of 64 degrees with northwest winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Next Monday, the 26th, the fair skies continue with a low near 46 and a high of 66 with north winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Next Tuesday, mostly clear, low near 41, high of 69, with southeast winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And rain returns to the forecast by Wednesday of next week, the last day of February, the 28th, with a 70% chance of more rain, with low near 54 and a high of 65, with south winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And actually, I'm afraid there's even a 50% chance of more rain on next Thursday, March the 1st, becoming fair by Thursday night, with a 50% chance of rain during the daytime, though. Low of 54 and a high of 61. I hope that doesn't mean we're going to have a wet March. Who knows? Remember, it did rain a little bit on February 1st of this month. I think, I forget the amount. It was light, about 7/800ths of an inch, I think. But it did rain on that day, and look what we've had now. We're approaching the wettest February on record, thanks to that. We'll have to wait and see how March turns out. Well, that's it for tonight, my friends. One more time, I wish I had that other up. It would be up to date. Let me try something real quick. No, if I do what I'm thinking about doing, it'll mess it up. I just know it will. Is that still 7:03? Yeah, I know it'll mess it up. Never mind. Just expect the possibility of some thunderstorms forming between now and midnight. It's almost sure after midnight, lasting to around sunrise, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning to around sunrise, and especially tomorrow afternoon and evening. And that pretty much covers everything, my friends. Let me put it back on me temporarily before I shut it down. But you enjoy looking at that radar instead of me, don't you? Just had to say that just for fun and all. Well, alrighty. I guess that's it for tonight. Good night, my friends. God bless you. Sweet dreams, and I hope to talk to you later. Bye-bye. Be cautious with that fog out there, by the way. And heavy rain expected yet.